All right, everybody, today we are actually taking a question from a viewer here on YouTube. But before we start, I want you to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell below. And remember, if you have any questions, please send them to me either via comment or via email, and we'll actually make a video all about that question, okay? So today's question comes from a viewer of the channel, and here's what his email says. I hope you don't mind me emailing you. I recently subscribed to your YouTube channel and saw you had put your email address in the comments so people could ask questions. I did indeed. I'm looking into getting a hair system, and after doing some of my own research online about the procedure and maintenance, pros, cons, etc., I have found your videos to be the best source of information, and I'm trying to watch as many as I can. That's so sweet. The place where I would get it done is offering hair systems with Remy luxury human hair attached to a membrane, which according to them would last approximately 3 years, with it needing to be reapplied and properly cleansed by them or myself every 10 to 12 weeks. However, everywhere else I've seen online says the system only lasts up to 6 months. In your experience, is the 3-year mark at all realistic? And furthermore, would it be possible to work out what type of base they would use from that information? Any help is greatly appreciated. Wow. So that's a really interesting question. And I think we need to break this down piece by piece by piece in order to properly address it. So inside of a hair system, there's a couple different components that we're going to want to look at, right? Number one is the base. So when it comes to these bases, there's really this cross section that you come across between believability of your hairline and the longevity that the unit will last. So on the believable but not very long duration of hair systems, we have Swiss lace and we have thin skin units. Now these come in potentially at about 3-ish months. Now some hair clubs, barbers will recommend that you get rid of them after 1 month. They say that they can only last 1 month. However, they can go up to 3. I've seen other fellow YouTubers who have made it even longer than 3 inside of these types of units, but you have to be careful with them. That being said, if we start moving into a French lace or potentially even like a mono unit, there's a potentiality that you'll get more time out of this type of unit. Now, if you decide to go the poly unit, right? So that's what a thin skin is, polyurethane. There are other options out there that are thicker. It's a thin skin is 0.03 millimeters thick. Now there is poly skins and like silicon, which are 0.14 millimeter and 0.25 respectively. These are options you can find on Lord Hair that they actually sell. Now a 0.25 silicon based unit has a durability that they say of 12 to 18 months. The next thing that you want to consider when talking about the longevity of your hair system is the hair quality. Of course, if you have high quality hair inside of the unit, it is a major factor in its longevity. But along with just the quality of the hair comes the issue of how the hair is processed. Now, it's generally known that lighter colored hair is generally processed more. It's subject to more chemical exposure, and therefore it will have a shorter duration on it. In fact, darker straight hair is known as the longest lasting type of hair itself. So if that is your hair, well, you might be in good luck. But of course, keep in mind that as your unit ages, that hair, you have to take care of it, but 2, you might have some shedding. You might have some lossage. The hair quality might diminish as well because it's not living and breathing hair. Third, the thing that you want to think about when talking about the duration of your unit is the maintenance of it, right? So what does this break down into? First, breaks down into brushing and combing your hair, making sure that it's not getting knotted, making sure that it's not getting tangled, and that there's not a lot of strain on the knots going on, that it's flowing properly. Number 2, sleeping. If you are sleeping inside of your unit, there's a chance that it's going to diminish some of the longevity of that unit. However, there are ways to circumvent that, and if you'd like to know some of those, I can make a video on it. Number 3, dry ends. To stop dry ends in your hair, this is something that you can apply, potentially even olive oil, onto the ends of your hair. So this is not at the roots, guys. This is down towards the ends of your hair. Number 4, chlorine and salt water is something that will cause the hair to damage. So if you want to go for a swim in the ocean or you want to go in a chlorine pool, that's good and well. I would try to limit exposure to this, or if you are going to, just know that this is definitely going to have an effect over the long term of your hair. Number 5, the chemical usage on your hair system. Are you dyeing your hair system? If you are, these are going to be issues that you're going to come across. Just like natural human hair, if you continue to dye it a lot, it's going to suffer side effects and it's going to damage the hair, except this is not living hair. This is hair in a hair system. So there are a couple different things that we can do to increase the longevity of a hair system. Number 1, we want to prevent oxidation. The sun releases harmful radiation, and when it does this, it can damage the pigment of the hair that it's been processed with and turn it and kind of tint it to different colors. So what could potentially happen is it could deteriorate your unit sooner and it won't last as long. If you're going to go out in the sun, if you're going to just hang out for a little bit, not a big deal. But if you're going to be spending long hours on the beach, a full day on the beach, having a cap on is something that I recommend you do in order to preserve the longevity of your unit. Number 2, you can shampoo regularly. If you shampoo at least twice a week, you're going to get shinier and healthier hair out of your system, and you're just going to maintain it. And also, if you have any odor issues, it'll help to suppress that. Number 3, hair system cleaning. Whether you're using a poly system or you're using a lace system, you're going to want to take the time to make sure that you're cleaning the adhesive out of the base properly. If you don't, this can leave a deposit of adhesive that will slowly start to add up and kill the longevity of your unit. Number 4, detangling your unit. Now this goes along with combing and brushing your unit. As long as you are making sure that your hair is not getting tangled and it's not getting knotted up, then this is going to vastly improve the quality and longevity of your hair system. Now, this is maybe not an issue for some of us men out there that have shorter hairstyles and we're not really worried about it knotting and tangling. But if you have a longer style, this is something that you're going to want to start to consider. All right, so let's go back to this email. So he said, I'm looking at getting into a hair system, and after doing some research, the place where I'm going to get it done is offering Remy luxury hair attached to a membrane, which according to them would last 3 years, with it needing to be reapplied and properly cleaned by them or myself every 10 to 12 weeks. So let's just take this statement. All right, so Remy hair itself is natural human hair. Most of the hair that you're going to find in hair systems is going to be natural human hair. What distinguishes it as Remy is that Remy hair is gathered from the donor's head in such a way that all of the cuticles of the hair are properly aligned in relationship to the neighbor hairs. This means that all of the hair is running in the same direction as opposed to running in crisscrossing directions. So a cuticle down here, a cuticle down here. Of course, we don't have the cuticles in our hair system, but this keeps the entire unit smooth. It keeps it cohesive, if you will. This is different than virgin hair, of course. Remy hair does not mean that it has not been treated or color processed or anything like that. He says attached to a membrane. So now we can assume that it's probably going to be a polyurethane base, whether it's silicone or thin skin or something like this. And they're saying it'll last you 3 years with it needing to get cleaned every 10 to 12 weeks. Guys, I don't know about you, but number 1, if they're suggesting that this guy cleans the unit every 10 to 12 weeks, that's every 2.5 to 3 months. That's cleaned. Not even maintenance, not even attachments because of the glue coming off. I don't know about you guys, but to me, something smells off right there. Now, they say that the unit is going to last approximately 3 years. 3 years. Now let's take a look at Lord Hair. Lord Hair says if you get a silicone unit that has a 0.25 millimeter thickness, which is the thickest of all their skin-based type units out there, that it could potentially last 12 to 18 months. Potentially last 12 to 18 months. as opposed to their ultra thin skin, which has the potential durability of 3 months. This place is claiming that you're going to get 2 to 3 times what Lord Hair says you can get out of the silicone base. Now, I don't know what type of unit exactly you're going to be getting. You didn't mention it inside of your email. Now, some new information just came in, guys. I'm sorry. So while we were making this video, I got another email from this person, and it said, they told me it's an ultra thin membrane, which I'm assuming to be the 0.03 millimeter one, and it's bonded with medical grade adhesive. These people are telling this person that they're going to get 3 years out of a unit. 3 years out of a thin skin unit. That he's only going to need to clean it every 10 to 12 weeks. That's going to stay attached for 10 to 12 weeks with no issues. Guys, this is everything that's wrong with this industry, and this is exactly why I made this channel. Because of crap like this being peddled by charlatans and snake oil salesmen that are saying you're going to get this freaking amazing result that's unrealistic and absolutely impossible. There's no possible way that these people could stand up in a court of law that this is going to ever be the case. This is just impossible. With a thin skin unit to last 3 years, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And God knows what they're charging this guy right here. God knows what they want for this. I mean, if they're telling him it's going to last 3 years and that he's going to have to only reattach it every 3 months, they're probably charging an arm and a leg for the unit and the maintenance itself. And you know exactly what's going to happen, right? They're going to upsell on that thing right there to get more value out of it, and they're going to tell him that they're using medical grade adhesive so that way he doesn't have to come in as often, and he's going to have to come in more often, and eventually after a month, 2 months, 3 months, he's going to come in and they're going to say, oh, well, you need a new unit and you were too harsh on your unit and we can't do anything about it, so you got to get another unit. And then the guy's going to get burnt out, and then he's not going to want to go further down this road because he feels like he got basically sold a bad bill of goods. And I'm not okay with that. Like, this is so infuriating to me. I don't know about you guys, but this industry is filled with bad people that are hurting men that are just trying to be better. And they're trying to do better, and they're trying to look better and feel better about themselves. That was a lot of betters. But it really upsets me that there's people like this in the industry that are claiming these things and setting false expectations to make a short-term sale, as opposed to telling somebody up front what the possible situation is going to be and what they're going to have to go through and what the real costs are going to be. That way they can make an informed buying decision. It's just not right. Anyways, guys, if you have any comments, if you have any critiques, if you have any questions, please leave them down below or send me an email. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.